Hi everyone, how are you today? We are here for one more emission of Learning to Sleep, and today I want to share this topic that I consider very important due to so many people that are posting about how they feel in relation to sleep deprivation, how the mothers sometimes wait until it's a little bit too intense for them to share, that they cannot cope anymore, that they really need help, that they are to the end of the rope and they actually need people to comment, need people to give them advice. But I would like to share this with you, and please make sure that if you know someone that is going through this, if you someone that is really tired, that is suffering for bad sleep deprivation, if is struggling to cope with their day, if you don't see them too often, if you invite them to catch up and they're not attending or they're not responding your phone calls, or pretty much you haven't seen them. I know it's pretty hard, and this is my experience. From my group of friends, I pretty much was the first mother to be, which makes you to be a little bit isolated, because when you are in a group and everybody else are young, are working, you are at home and you find that you have no one to hang out, you find yourself very isolated. I also don't have family here, direct family support. Everybody is away, and the ones that the family that we have here is obviously working or have their own activities during the day. So when I have had my first child, I'm going to start telling you my story. So if you maybe feel you feel that is very similar, or perhaps you have a set of twins, or you are a mother of multiples, this goes more intense even, because obviously you have two little ones to care for. So my experience was that, of course, I become a mother. I'm very excited. I'm ready to tackle the motherhood and ready. So what happened is I start having my time off and looking after my child that is not sleeping so well. So as the time is passing on, I start feeling really isolated, very sad, and very tired, more than anything. I don't suffer with depression or any issues like that, but I started feeling like I couldn't cope with the day. I hardly had energy to have a shower. I didn't feel like cooking for myself. So what I decided to do is just start a group. I remember this is like 7 years ago, when Facebook groups were not so popular. So what's happening is I created a group trying to find some mothers around my area, and no one responded. I still very isolated. I didn't have a car. It was summer. It was really hot. I didn't have energy. So there were some signs that told me that I was very sleep deprived, but I also ignored them in my battle of trying to succeed as a mother, as a first-time mother. I thought everything was like that, like I assumed, like the sleep patterns. I honestly never thought about sleep before I even had my child, and I never thought that sleep was so important until I started not having any. Obviously, I followed certain advices that I got given in the hospital. My midwife in the hospital advised me that my child needed to eat every 3 hours on the clock. I didn't think that this was just from the beginning, or this was something I could perhaps discharge, but I was, I'm a person that likes to listen to people, and more than if they have to give me an advice, and I believe they are more experienced than me, why not? Anyway, I tried to follow this advice. Unfortunately, I carry on with this advice for way too long, and my baby started growing up. I started interrupting her sleep, waking her up through the night, and then this started giving me so many issues. Obviously, my baby started not learning how to sleep. I didn't know anything about routines, which I consider very important for those ones that are trying to get into a very good sleep pattern. Routines are extremely important. So I started going into a very bad stage. Obviously, you in your mind, all you want is sleep. You start suffering from isolation, tiredness, or you want to a little bit of anxiety kicks in as well because you're trying to cope with it and trying to be normal, but it's not really. Obviously, moms, this lasts from on me, with me, this sleep deprivation for a year and a half until I decided to find help. What were the signs that make me to look for help? Okay, there were times in where my thoughts were not controlled by me. My thoughts were anger, were desperation. I was feeling like I couldn't cope with my child. I felt really angry, not at my child, but very angry at the situation of frustration that I had in me of not putting my child to sleep. I started feeling a little bit of resentment towards my partner, that my partner was obviously trying to do his best, didn't know how to put our daughter to sleep either, so obviously I needed to find someone to take everything I had in me, or more than anything, my frustration, and the first one that I found was my partner. So the relationship always starts being a little bit stressed for this sleep deprivation. So the best that we need to find is obviously is trying to find help. In this case, I was the one to look for help because I felt like I needed to come out of that hole that it was keeping me in. You know, it was a force, it was this tiredness. I had a full-time job at the time. I needed to go to work every day, but I had just a few hours of sleep. And let's say I didn't have that small amount of sleep at the time. I did have a very interrupted sleep. Like, I was going to bed around 11 because my child would not go down any earlier. I will be waking up every 3 to 5 hours. I kept breastfeeding at some point, but then I was giving bottles of breast milk. I was pumping, so all the stress was accumulated. Obviously, trying to cope and be normal at work, trying to. I did very well, I have to say. My work, I had no failures, but I was feeling, my body was not feeling the way I like it to feel. So the awareness that I want to make today is, mothers, if you are feeling really tired, if you don't feel like you are yourself, if you look at the mirror and you feel like you're getting older, that you have eye bags, you don't feel that you want to get dressed, you want to get pretty, you want to get out, that's a sign that you maybe need to look for help. Believe me, the help that you can get is there for you. You can. The only thing that it takes you is to make a phone call. I know it's hard sometimes to make that decision on reaching out for help, because sometimes you don't really know what you actually need. It's like, it's sometimes ridiculous to say, oh, hi, can you help me? I need to sleep more. But now that help is there. There is persons like me, like, I will understand exactly where you're coming from when you call me and you say, listen, I'm extremely tired, I don't know what to do. Sometimes your situation is not as bad as you think, but you need to speak to someone to realize that, to put that in the balance, to analyze. I have worked with so many families all over the world in the last 5 years. I have helped them to sleep better. I have so many dads that contact me every month, and then they say, Liliana, I'm looking for help, because they describe the full situation. Sometimes I understand the mothers, we don't have the energy to go and look for that help or research or be in our computer trying to find where is this person that can help me to sleep better. We don't have that energy. It gets to that point, and there is here when the fathers are intervening. The fathers sometimes see the mother that way, and they decide to do that research for them. They are the ones that call me and they say, Liliana, I have my wife is very tired because our daughter is not sleeping. I want to help her. I want that we put everything into it, and I want to make it better. It's very important. Why? Because sleep deprivation can lead you to postpartum depression. It can lead you to very bad anxiety. It can lead you to a lack of very small bonding with your children. Why? Because obviously this is a very strong sign when you actually need help. When you start feeling resentment towards your child because the way you're feeling, when you start thinking, oh, I didn't know, I wish I never had that baby, or I wish I never or someone told me, what is this about, so I never did it again. Those thoughts come and are very common. Don't feel bad, because a lot of mothers that are going through sleep deprivation have those thoughts, and believe me, sometimes those thoughts are not voluntary. Those thoughts come to our mind for some reason, because we are tired and we're not sleeping well. When we're not sleeping well as well, we need to be aware that we are putting in risk the life, and we're driving, for example. I spoke to a mother in America last week, and she contacted me because she needed help. She's feeling really tired, and she needs to drive to her work 1 hour every day. She actually is making her daughter sleep in the car when she's traveling, which is very dangerous, because obviously she's not just putting herself on risk, she's putting her baby in the back of the car in a risk, and also others that are driving at the same time as her. But of course, there is nothing I can do to obligate you to feel that guilt. You need to be making conscious of your actions, making a little bit more effort into be a better person for the world. And obviously there are so many other things that happen because of sleep deprivation. The relationships between the couples are always damaged for that, and always it's better when we work out through this issue of sleep together, because we brought this baby to the world. We can work out together, we can manage the situation together. It's much better. So mommies, I just want to make you aware about how sleep deprivation can affect your life big time. The bond with your family is better. I always said a family that sleeps well is a happy family. A family that is smiling in the morning, is happy to see each other, happy to begin the day and happy to end the day. When you have a child that goes to bed easily, that falls asleep and sleeps through the night, is wonderful. Because, and I tell you, because I've been in the two sides. No, it's wonderful because you feel recharged, you feel like you can attend, you can be there for your child fully, with very strong, and provide everything you have to provide, especially love and patience, because you are bringing up these children. There is also help from my side, that if you need just an advice because you cannot achieve what you really want and you are trying your best, and you can contact me. I offer free sleep advice to those people that are looking for one advice, and then perhaps to see if they are going in the right direction. So please reach out. I'm always happy to help. And please, if you see someone that is suffering from sleep deprivation, please contact them. Make them aware that there is people that can help, that they can feel better. It's no bad. It's nothing to lose. It's nothing to lose. No one is going to feel bad for them. No one is going to expose them, unless they're happy to expose their situation. But if they feel a little bit shy on their situation, don't worry. We are very confident on we can help without affecting anything else. There are mothers as well that contact me in secret from their partner. Those ones can be helped as well, and we can work together. I will be there for them. I have a few that the partner doesn't agree, but at the same time, it's funny because once we start working and the partner starts seeing those changes, they like to ask what are the changes they are implementing. I haven't had fathers that do this behind the backs of the mothers. Obviously, the father that is always very involved in the sleep is because he's hands-on in the relationship, and obviously is seeing that the suffering of the mother for the sleep deprivation, and the child. Obviously, the child is the most affected on this, because they need a lot of sleep. They're growing, they're developing, they're trying to learn many things, so they're the ones that will be having more benefits than anyone else. Okay, so let's stop sleep deprivation. Let's be happy, let's be better people. If we can help, we are always happy to help. Okay, thank you so much for listening, learning to sleep. Thank you for those that connected, for those that are still watching, and I will see you next week with a new topic. Thank you so much. Bye.